The monster can.
Astolfo cock, or there's an
Now you got
Astolfo
cock. Now you got cock on
cosplayer,
your brain, huh, bud?
and like he took
He
a
always
picture.
does, though.
He
This
took
is a
pic-
constant thing, though. You're
Yeah.
acting surprised.
I'm.
And like
Hello,
he
everybody.
took a picture of his like dick next to the size of like a Monster Energy can, and it was as long as the can.
Long schlong.
Massive cock.
Get
Absolutely.
along.
All right, before we get
Schlong.
started, I just want to give a big
Schlong.
shout out to Nat for the 21 months of subbing. Thank you
Oh,
very
was it
much,
regular?
Nat.
Was it a regular
Um,
sized monster can or was it the big monster can?
Like the 20 ounce or something.
It was the big one, like the normal one.
Hold on, let me look up the Astolfo cock picture.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to the VGRCast, the weekly podcast about anything and everything in between. Thank you so much, Steve, for 20 months of subs. Very appreciated. This week, the stream is sponsored by the follow button. Make sure you hit the follow button. If you have already hit the follow button, tell a friend to hit the follow button. They will get hours of content. Some better, some worse.
So about Astolfo
press-
dick.
Press the follow button today.
No, I'm
Link
gonna
in the sidebar.
I've ever heard. In my
As always, I am
entire
joined by my lovely friends Steve, Mike, Monica, Ryan, and my lovely fiance Chris.
Oh,
My name's Kev. Welcome to the show. Welcome.
nobody
welcome,
sponsored Kevin.
welcome.
That is the level of plug you're going to be getting on, for your product.
It's a regular monster can, by the way.
Okay.
Hey, MeUndies. MeUndies.
That's still.
Me
I
undies,
love your
huge.
underwear. I love your underwear. I wear it all the time. I'm wearing it right now. Ravenclaw underwear from MeUndies. I'm wearing it right now.
Yeah, you didn't even buy that.
I got ice
Perfect.
cream.
Beautiful.
You got ice cream?
You got ice cream?
I like ice cream.
The MeUndies ice cream.
Mm.
Oh.
I've lost the thread.
Hello,
Buy
everyone.
MeUndies.
Buy MeUndies. Not
Then-
sponsored.
Then you'll
yet.
never lose
Hashtag not
threads
sponsored.
again.
No,
Yeah.
buy me undies.
Ah.
No,
I'm
buy
not gonna
me
buy your
MeUndies.
undies.
No.
No.
No, I think he wants you to purchase some for him.
Oh,
Yes.
still no.
Yes.
Yeah,
Could be shit.
No.
There's a hype train going right now.
Woo!
Woo, woo. Oh no, it's close to starting.
Woo!
Oh.
Hasn't started yet.
Who's
Yeah.
doing a hype
Oh.
train?
Hype
I
train
don't
is
have
when
it
enough
yet, so I
people
would.
sub or give bits or other stuff. That's fine.
Yeah.
How's everyone
So,
doing?
woo!
Oh, goodness.
Oh.
I had engagement photos taken this weekend. That was fun.
Gross.
What, you guys haven't done that
Hetero
yet?
No. We're waiting until
Um,
October, until our season.
Oh, that's fair, I suppose.
This is literally your next year. You'll be married. So
Oh yeah.
Yep. I will be married as of this time next year.
Ah.
You're like the month after, fuckface.
Yeah, but I'm gonna be a bachelor for longer.
I've been
Death
alive
of a
for longer, so-
bachelor. Well, oh.
Steve's old.
there's gonna be a death of a
I
bachelor
acknowledge
tonight.
the face you just made to the camera, and it was perfect.
I just
This one?
appreciate.
Confusion?
I just appreciate Steve being here because it means I'm not the oldest.
Yeah.
You're
Wait.
well.
Even Monica's older than you.
I was about to say,
Are you? We're the same year. What?
let's
what
see,
was
are
our
you
same
92 or
school-
93?
93.
Okay, then I am older than you.
Okay.
Yeah, Monica was a full. No, you guys were the same
No,
grade.
we were in the same
Well,
grade.
you jumped.
Yeah, but you
fucking
jumped a
jumped
grade,
year.
Mike.
You
So of
skipped a grade.
course you're younger.
No, yeah, you're 93. You're with me.
Yeah, I'm
Yeah.
I'm
And Ryan.
September
Kevin's
92,
the,
which
Kevin's
is
the only one at 94.
Ah.
So
But
Anyways.
Steve's gonna be 30. Ha ha ha.
He
am
is
30.
30.
wow.
Steve already
Been
is an old
30
man.
for exactly 1 month, actually.
Nice.
Congrats, you old man.
Fuck you.
Anyways, I tried the Taco Bell crispy chicken taco sandwich.
Okay, review, brah.
Okay, here we go, right? So,
When are you
if-
gonna review
if-
farts, Mike?
if you don't know what this is, it's like a couple pieces of chicken in like a soft chalupa shell with some sauce and some jalapenos, right? I thought it was pretty good, but the chicken
Heard a butt.
the chicken was the worst part. And that's the problem.
I mean,
Like-
it is in the name,
It
so
did
I
not
mean-
look appetizing when I was thinking about ordering it. So
So it
All
was
I
also
know
really
is that
small.
I hated the commercial enough that I will not go buy it.
That's fine.
I-
It's also a lot smaller than like an average like taco from Taco Bell. And
Well, then
so
what's
like
the fucking point?
Well, so the shell is really good and the sauce is really good, but like the actual chicken was a lot of like breading and not enough chicken.
Ugh.
That was my opinion. Or the chicken pieces were too small. I thought it was okay.
Well, what do you expect for $1.50?
That's
really only
because
$1.50?
Taco Bell's. It's Taco Bell, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Usually their chicken's pretty okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and crispy chicken and grilled chicken come from probably two different sources or suppliers, so
I possibly. I don't know.
Maybe. Now,
It's
Kevin,
possible.
have you had the Wendy's jalapeno popper chicken sandwich?
No.
It is good. Very spicy though.
Oh, okay.
Really?
I will
I
not
wouldn't
buy
have
it.
known.
Jalapeno pepper.
So, jalapeno poppers, right? It's a good food. And I was thinking of The Simpsons the other day. And I was thinking about how much I want Simpsons Hit and Run to be remastered.
You know jalapeno poppers, right? What if they remastered them?
Did you even try? I lost. You went from jalapeno poppers to Simpsons.
Yeah, because I mean, Homer Simpson probably loves jalapeno poppers, right?
Yeah, but you didn't say that part.
I thought I did.
Jumped right in.
No, you did not, babe. You just jumped right in.
The following sound is my soul leaving my body.
Let's
Does
go
that
back.
happen when you turn 30.
Let's go back 30 seconds and try that again. So jalapeno poppers, right? I mean, I bet Homer Simpson loves jalapeno poppers.
There you go.
And that made me think about the Simpsons game Hit and
no,
Run and how
no.
much I want it to be
I
remastered.
hated-
What
I
game
hated
do you
that
guys want to be
position so much, we're
remastered?
skipping this topic and coming back to it later.
No.
We will do this topic.
No.
I am punishing Kevin by skipping this topic until he comes up with something better because
No.
that was awful even for Kevin.
Hey,
Fuck.
What games do you guys want remastered?
Fuck you.
I'm doing like the Watto from episode 2.
Putt travels through time.
yes.
What? A
No,
remaster?
putt-putt.
I love putt.
Slightly
but
crisper
How would you
graphics.
remaster a two-dimensional game like that?
Shh.
Make it 3D.
Make it
All right, if no one
3D.
else is gonna go, I got one. It's actually a series, and I would go with the Metroid Prime games. I would love to see a remaster / just straight up remake of the first 3 for the Switch.
I was gonna say I'm surprised that hasn't happened yet.
I know,
but then I was
right?
like,
Well,
but then
I
I
mean-
thought, oh, Nintendo.
There's
Well,
no.
there
there's-
was a port of it on the Wii though, for the first 3 Prime games.
the Wii U,
Yeah, that was.
which no one has like
okay.
that. That might have been the first time in about 3 weeks anyone has ever said the phrase Wii U, like ever. But like there was one that was adapted for the Wii U, I think, just because I think the motion controls are a bit better, but I didn't own a Wii U, so I never picked it up. Was it for the Wii? You actually, you know what? You might be right. It might have been for the Wii. I think it was on the digital shop of the Wii U. That's why I might have had that confused.
Okay, yeah, because I'm
This-
pretty sure it came out with a special collection of Metroid Prime 3.
I think you are correct. I think. I don't know. I don't care enough to look it up, honestly, but I'm pretty sure you're right. Yeah, I would love to see a remake of those games for the Switch, because those games are fucking dope.
I would love the first 3 Paper Mario games, specifically Thousand Year Door, get a nice re-release, especially or even just in general, like a Nintendo 64 Virtual Console, like just in general, like that would make my heart so happy. It will never happen, but one can dream.
Tangent. Whatever happened to those like mini console releases that they had for a while?
They did
Like
2
the
of them and then they
NES, the
stopped.
SNES. What?
They did those both and then they
Scalpers.
stopped because they realized they were stupid.
Man.
You can literally get a Raspberry Pi for $35
And Kevin made his
and
own.
just make your own.
Yeah, that's fair.
And never
And
shut
it'll-
the fuck up about it.
I would. Like
When was the last time I brought up my Raspberry Pi?
I would like
That's just
to
the meme. I'm not saying you
Oh, okay.
specifically.
Can you
Okay.
make me Raspberry Pi?
I would like to see the sales numbers on those mini consoles because I don't know anyone who has them.
Monica, I know your cousins had one, like, because I remember playing it on your mom's side.
Oh, did they?
I remember being at their house and playing it for some Christmas or other.
I mean, logically, they would have if out of all of my cousins, they would be the ones to have it. I don't remember that.
I want to say it was like the NES or
yeah.
the
I was
NES
about to
one?
say the NES Classic would make the most sense given the timeline.
I'd probably want like Fallout 3 remastered.
Oh, I would play the shit out of that.
But the thing is, it's Bethesda. They don't remaster anything unless it's Skyrim. And
That's true.
if they do remaster Fallout 3, it would end up looking like Fallout 4. And I don't know how I would feel about that. Although there is a fan project making Fallout 3 with the Fallout 4 engine.
Same with New Vegas, which I am like, okay, say what you will about Fallout 4 story, but the game mechanics were fucking good. Like, not the best in the world, but like.
No, I agree with that. The gunplay was good and the crafting was fun.
Oh yeah, gunplay. Like New Vegas is lauded for having the best story, and I don't really have an opinion on it one way or the other. But the gunplay is fucking dog shit in that game.
It was like their first attempt at at least for me, it was their first attempt at aiming down sights, and that was
Fallout 3 didn't have aim down sights.
No,
really interesting. Huh. But I once those games get released, I would definitely love to play those because the power armor and like the weapons crafting and the gunplay were all stellar in Fallout 4. I would love to play that. And
as long as they don't fuck up how absurdly overpowered power armor is in Fallout 3, where there is no battery life. Once you put it on, it's on, and it doesn't like fucking run out of juice on you.
I kind of like that mechanic though.
I guarantee you there will be a mod in that, a mod for that, like day one. So, if it isn't in the game,
also the bug where it like gives you an absurd amount of stim packs by scavenging.
I do want to play Fallout 3 at some point, but as I mentioned it before, I've never been able to get it to work on any computer I've owned.
Because it's a dog shit port.
Yeah.
How many bobbleheads are there in Fallout 4?
4? That's a good question.
I mean,
put like 400 hours into that game. I should know.
I've always liked bobbleheads. I mean, they're all the sports people and stuff.
Go fuck yourself.
I assume that hit a nerve on something.
I love bobbleheads because they're all sports characters.
It's a fucking
They're all sports themed, and now it's time for Sports Corner.
Oh, wait, did Mike have a game that he wanted remastered?
I already said.
Battletoads. I don't know.
I thought you were second. What did you say? You said something.
I did not. No.
I didn't.
Sports Corner.
Yeah.
Chris, the next time Kevin makes a bad transition, I want you to punch him in the dick for me.
Why?
Please.
It's been 60 episodes of bad transitions. Why now?
Okay, fine. You don't have to damage it irreparably.
It's been 60 episodes of bad transitions. It's been 60 episodes of no transitions.
Ow.
Thank you.
Tampa Bay Buccaneers running back Leonard Fournette has changed his mind on the COVID vaccine and decided to get it, citing the team needs guys like him to be ready at all times. With that, the Bucs have reached 100% vaccination rate among players, coaches, and staff. And apparently Tom Brady had COVID back in February.
I thought we knew that.
Huh. Wait, during the Super Bowl?
Had to have been I don't know. In 2019, the New York Jets revealed the return of their green helmets and jerseys with a video. As of last Thursday, none of the players in the video are on the team anymore. Instead of getting the easy-to-get COVID vaccine, Indianapolis quarterback Carson Wentz has been studying the gray areas of NFL COVID protocols and how to avoid further close contact situations. That's that North Dakota State University edumacation for you.
We all love them, don't we?
They suck monkey dick.
Wow.
The Washington football team have officially rostered the NFL's first white cornerback since 2002.
Huh.
Not
Mm.
quarterback.
Okay.
Oh.
Cool. I guess.
Cornerback.
Cornerback. I forget about that position.
Yeah. Lots of people do.
Supposedly, the New England Patriots' recent first-round draft pick, quarterback Mac Jones, was helping quarterback Cam Newton, who has 11 years of NFL experience and has been to a Super Bowl, learn the Patriots playbook. Cam Newton was the Patriots starting quarterback last year.
He must not
Wait,
be
Cam
related
Newton's
to
with the
Isaac
Patriots
Newton.
now?
Not anymore. He got cut.
Wow.
Sorry, I made a bad joke and got mad.
The University of
Okay.
Indiana football team had their first game of the college football season last Saturday against the University of Iowa. But one glaring problem was that Indiana was misspelled on their jerseys. It was written Indiana.
Indiana, more like in denial.
Malik Cunningham, who plays for the University of Louisville's football team, after a series of unnecessary targeting calls by the officials, basically said, "Fuck it, I'll do it myself," and led the team in pass yards, rush yards, and receiving yards in the game against Ole Miss.
Wow.
New York Mets pitcher Jacob deGrom, when approached by reporters asking about his progress on his injury recovery, he literally hopped the fence into the stands and sprinted away from them at the Mets stadium.
That would be me if I was famous and a paparazzi came up to me. I'd be like, no,
Well,
bye.
he's faking the injury then, right?
I don't know. I think it's his throwing arm that he has the injury in.
No, leg.
Yeah, I get.
But still, he would need his arm
he's
to jump the fence.
No, you use
Not if you got
a
hops.
throwing arm.
You have two arms for a reason.
Yeah, to hop fences.
The others to jerk off with.
Yep. In World Cup qualifiers, the
Not wrong.
Brazil-Argentina match had to be suspended after Brazilian health officials deemed 4 Argentina players to have violated COVID protocols by not quarantining for 14 days after arriving in Brazil from England for this match.
Don't cry.
Health officials later said they must leave the country.
Get the fuck out.
Don't cry for
Followed
them,
up by several
Argentina.
people on Twitter saying, please come to Brazil.
Following up on the Carolina Hurricanes Montreal Canadiens drama from last week, the Canadiens did not match Carolina's offer sheet of 1 year $6.1 million for Jesperi Kotkaniemi. Carolina will receive the player, and Montreal receives Carolina's first and third round draft picks in the next NHL draft. Montreal then flipped almost immediately the better of either their own first round pick this year or Carolina's, along with a second round pick for next year, to Arizona for the player Christian Dvorak, who 2 days prior to this trade just closed on a house in Arizona.
Oh.
Woof.
Rip.
Also following up last week's to China's hockey team, or more or less to give some context to how bad they might be in the Olympics, in 2019-2020, a team of all Chinese players played in the third-tier Czech Republic Hockey League. They finished with 0 wins, 41 losses, and 1 overtime loss. Oh, sorry, I had a picture for this next one.
Rip.
I meant to say that before. My bad.
You're gonna have to go on without it, I think, because I mean, unless you have something else to talk about real quick before that, because I can't get it up right now.
Yeah, I can go on really quick. The Milwaukee Bucks player Bobby Portis says he has yet to pay for a meal post-championship in Milwaukee after he helped the Bucks win their first championship in 50 years. He also says he prefers corner stores as opposed to places like Walmart. Golden State Warriors player Klay Thompson says he will be rocking the Jackie Moon look for this upcoming NBA season. Jackie Moon was a character portrayed by Will Ferrell in the movie Semi-Pro.
Huh.
Okay.
I forgot that movie existed.
Also same.
I didn't know that was a movie.
I've debated trying to get a Jackie Moon jersey off of Amazon.
That
Okay,
is
I've
not
got,
a good look.
I've got
Is
the
it-
image, I guess.
Right.
Boom.
The Minnesota Wild unveiled their Winter Classic jerseys for this upcoming season, and they're something.
Ugly as sin.
What the
Oh.
I
He's not
mean,
even
I-
happy to be wearing that.
Okay, the
It's not-
jersey looks okay, but then what the fuck is with the tan shorts and gloves?
It captures the old time look fine, but like
No.
it doesn't need the top stripe
Why are there
across
so
the chest.
why are there so many stripes?
Yeah,
Camouflage.
it could have went without them. The ones on the arms are fine, but like, stop.
Too many.
You've gone too far.
It's like 9 stripes
Stop
on there.
And finally,
Mike.
just some follow up to the Bishop Sycamore situation from last week. More information has come to light. It's not as big. It's not as long as last time, but it's still just as confusing.
Oh, good.
A college that the players were recruited to is called RPA College. Its supposed address is a small office building in Texas.
Oh,
Oh,
such
no.
a tiny college.
Just like Bishop Sycamore, RPA College doesn't offer much as far as info on their website. RPA College has no home field.
Just to clarify, before you go on, RPA College was the team that they were playing, or
No.
This was the school that players from Bishop Sycamore were being recruited to for college football.
Oh,
Bishop
okay.
Sycamore is a
Recruited.
high school football team.
Okay. Thank you for Thanks for the clarification.
If you go to look at the types of degrees that RPA College offers, the menu expands but shows nothing. Only if you highlight the page, you can see what's listed. There
Right.
are links on their website leading to actual universities that they are supposedly partnered with, but they are not. RPA claimed, well, I literally just said my next point. RPA is not accredited with the Better Business Bureau.
Shocking.
Bishop Sycamore was writing checks that would bounce to the hotel they housed players at. And this is a little confusing. For whatever reason, if you Google Sugar Bee's Bakery, then copy their phone number and do a Google search of that phone number, you get results directing you to the now former Bishop Sycamore head coach.
I
don't
have
understand how this has any link to it other than
questions.
This is some red web shit.
yeah.
I'm so confused. That's like a
Supposedly,
diva. Like, what?
the team would practice once a week, and sometimes only on the day of a game.
What? No, that's no. That's not how that works.
What's the end? Okay, what is the end game for all of this?
I
Like
don't
faking
know.
your way
Money.
Money
to
for the people that came up with the idea, not so much for the people that are involved.
Is
This
it?
absolutely feels like a tax scam.
It
probably
is.
Okay,
yeah.
that track.
It is. They've been caught doing this before. They're doing it again.
I forgot about that.
A homeless man tried breaking into the head coach's car, and he made the players beat him up.
What?
Oh,
Yep.
that's the end. Oh, I thought it was gonna be like, and then the homeless man won. Nope.
That would've been funny.
When the team would be served food, it looked like straight up vomit. I've seen pictures. I'm not gonna share them.
Thank
So
you.
worse than Fire Festival.
Pretty much.
Ooh.
There are a handful of other individuals tied to this from other known scams, but I'd be here with another like 20 minutes talking about each individual branch of this messed up tree. Prior to the game against IMG Academy 2 weeks ago, Bishop Sycamore gave the hotel bad checks. Who saw that coming? Bishop Sycamore claimed to have educational partnerships with 2 online charter schools. No such agreements exist. And the online provider that the quote-unquote school had in 2020 withdrew any connection with them after 5 months and, wait for it, bad checks.
Mm.
The new head coach came out and said, "Stop slandering the kids." No one's slandering the kids. They're slandering you for fucking these kids up in more ways than one.
Oh,
That's such a great misdirect. Stop slandering the kids.
And by the
Leave
way, they're
Brittany
not kids.
alone.
By the way, not kids. On Twitter Spaces after the IMG game, with one of the coaches present, a player openly admitted there were 23-year-olds on the team.
Mhm.
They're not kids.
Okay.
So is it like bench warmers where it's like the ID that just says I am 12?
See, I am
Probably.
12.
Coach,
He's got documentation.
This new coach has also admitted that there is no curriculum or education plan.
Wow.
So you're not a school then.
Yeah.
Wow.
Also,
And
don't
that's
openly
those
admit
are like the
that.
highlights of what I just discovered this past week.
goodness.
Wow. Is that
It's just
everything?
a mess, yeah.
Sports
And I
corner.
swear to fucking God, if you do some shitty transition, the fucking next thing.
Into what? What's next?
I don't know,
Kevin
Kevin.
Club.
Oh, thank God.
I mean, we
Thank
already
you.
hate Kevin enough. We might as well explain.
Oh, a good transition. Thank fucking God.
Because he wasn't the one saying it.
Episode
that's
5.
why we have to take it away from him.
Episode
Fuck you, Kevin.
5. Episode 5.
Chat's been
Welcome
awfully
to
quiet. Chat,
Episode
say
5.
something.
And I don't think
I
anyone's
think
here.
it's just us in the
Yeah.
chat.
There's
Fuck
six
Yeah.
you.
people watching, and it's all of us.
I'm not watching.
Oh, whatever. Anyway,
Episode
guys,
5.
welcome to my fucking world.
So yeah, literally everything that Kevin said last time this was correct. And we hate him.
Again, I'm still not wholeheartedly convinced. Maybe there's a part of me that wants to deny it just to
You are
just
in
make sure
denial.
he's wrong in some small way.
We
But-
saw her get pushed down the well and then watch
neck
her
break.
body at the
No,
bottom of the well.
But here's the thing though, that there's so many inconsistencies with the way that spirits have been presented thus far and the way that Hannah exists, and I'm just not there's just a lot to elaborate on there that was not elaborated
The-
on.
I have
Let's
a couple.
get into the
Do-
episode and
Yeah,
like,
let's
just dissect the details of it.
It's a lot. The episode is, just as a general outline, is very repetitive. It's Hannah reliving memories,
Yeah.
past and present.
Yeah,
I told Mike this, but and only he and I will probably get it. But shout out to Hannah with the Endless 8 reference.
Yeah.
Huh?
Exactly.
So, in season 2 of Haruhi Suzumiya, there's an arc called the Endless 8 where the characters experience a time loop. But in the actual season, it takes 8 episodes.
Isn't that like a slice of life anime?
It's like a comedy slice of life, supernatural kind of thing. But
Okay.
and every episode has like something little something that's
Slightly
different.
I did notice that Owen's mustache is even bushier in the past somehow.
Yeah. He trimmed it.
Yeah.
yeah, he trimmed it down a little bit.
Man, everyone's a stellar
Also-
actor in this episode, by the way.
Yeah, I was about to
Yeah.
say, shout out to Raul Cooley for being fucking terrifying
Yes. That was,
during the last scene of the interview.
We started
Oh.
shouting and stuff.
Before-
Miles Wingrave.
Not even that, just that there was something in particular. I can't quite remember where.
was it the
He
got-
Shakespeare
like-
part?
What?
Was it the Shakespeare part?
I don't think it was.
I didn't get that bit. I
maybe
mean,
it
I
was
heard
the
that, but I
Shakes-
didn't understand.
Oh
it,
shit!
though.
Was I mixing that in my head? The dream thing was in this episode, wasn't it?
The,
I
the,
thought
the
it-
entire episode was a dream, kind of revisiting.
Not a
While I
dream,
have that up, does
but-
anyone actually know? Has anyone actually read Hamlet?
No.
A long ass time ago,
maybe?
but the dream thing is a Puck monologue, I thought.
I don't know exactly who says it, but I had to look it back up afterwards to see like what Shakespeare scholars say about it. And basically, in the play Hamlet, that "to sleep perchance to dream" line is basically just him pondering what happens after death.
Yeah, because the whole thing with Hamlet is his
Being
father
up.
dying, and in the very beginning of the play is his father appears to him as a spirit. So
that might be one of my favorite.
I fucking swear the dream thing was Puck, but maybe I'm messing that up in my head because, like I said, it's been fucking years since I've read Hamlet. It's probably been a literal decade at this point.
Let me see who said it.
I did like that. Back to actually Bly Manor.
Yeah.
Shakespeare's
great and all, but like
true.
I mean, he was in. It was in the episode though.
Yeah, but we don't need to dive that deep.
But as they keep revisiting each dreams, they keep getting like more and more like unstable, you know. And I thought that was a really neat touch.
Both episodes do this.
Yeah, that's why I'm kind of questioning. That's one of my sort of.
I have a theory about that.
Against what's going on.
Fucking theory.
What about Hannah? Because if it was just solely Hannah experiencing these types of flashbacks, then I buy the ending of it more. But because it was presented in in similar manner in the next episode, that's why I'm like, I'm not fully convinced. But maybe there's some stubborn denial there.
No,
Fuck
she is, because at the end of the episode, she doesn't see the forest. It's just blackness.
There's also this is in episode 6, but there's a scene where I don't remember the context, but it's Danny coming to check in on Flora just after talking to Hannah in the doorway. And they did one of those shots where on the way to the bed, Danny passes in front of the doorway where Hannah is standing. When she passes by the doorway, Hannah is fucking gone. Like, not walked off frame, vanished. Like, I'm 100% convinced she's a ghost. Plus, it would explain where the fuck she came from when we first saw Peter Quint as a ghost back in like episode 2?
1, I think.
We'll talk more about.
Yeah, we'll
go
back
more
to
about episode 6 later, but
5.
there are some differences in how the two episodes are presented. But
also, there was an aspect that literally just hit me in the shower because Nat and I were talking afterwards. Like, what if Kevin and Mike are both right? What if she is a ghost, but there's still a lingering bit of dementia? But then there was but then I was taking a shower, and I'm like, no, you dumbass. She doesn't have dementia. She hit her fucking head. That's why she doesn't remember anything.
I knew you guys were reading too much into the whole dementia subplot. I was just kind of like, that's a stretch, boys.
And I was like, but then I had that realization in the shower. I'm like, she hit her fucking head.
Well, one of my early notes here has me guessing she has a brain tumor before but that's again, that was like in the first half of the episode. Or we also finally met Mr. and Mrs. Wingrave in this episode.
I have a comment about that. There's a funny moment because when the Wingraves are first shown on screen, that's like, he's like, oh, it's discount British Mark Ruffalo, and then and
I can see it.
And then Mrs. Wingrave, Charlotte, she does this, and I'm like, and literally that only makes sense to me because when I do Renaissance Fair, that's one of my defining characteristics of the character that I play. Is she walks around like this, and I'm like, oh, and Mrs. Wingrave's played by Sybil. Neat. But that was just funny to me because it's such a very distinct choice that I only have ever seen myself make, and I'm like, oh, that's interesting.
I did like how at the end of each kind of like segment, like something else crazy happens, like either like someone shouts, or she sees the well walls, or her like neck.
Loop. It's a loop, I think. Maybe
It's not a loop, but it's just like she's seeing images
Yeah,
of
you're right,
her death, pretty much. And then there's even one where like right at the end, like her neck just goes like
where she
sharp
feels
90.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
at some point in the episode, I think a little bit further down, I actually think I accidentally called it. It says that I kind of started putting together the crack. It didn't actually turn out to be this, but like, my note is there's a crack, maybe like a skull fracture. I wasn't far off, but that's not what the crack is.
But it could metaphorically mean that as well.
Yeah.
Because she probably did fracture her skull.
I think she did a bit more than that. Yeah.
But we're overlooking one very important thing in our anger, in the midst of all of our anger at Kevin, and that is seeing Peter get got.
Yeah.
Oh,
He
yeah.
was a ghost
Okay.
all of the how much have we seen him so far?
I've just got a couple more notes before we go to like the big thing. I thought there was just a couple of lines I wanted to point out was when Miles was hitting on Jamie. I'm just like, oh, bro, you are barking up the wrong tree there, my son. And
down, Peter, down.
and oh, there was a line that I think I want to say the gardener says, where is it? Slow down or you'll break your bloody skulls, which, well, that's it wasn't the kids who broke their bloody skulls, but that's definitely I'm 100% certain
No,
that's
Hannah
there
said
deliberately.
that to the kids. She was vacuuming a door frame.
Yeah.
She was the one that
that's
said
right.
slow down
Oh,
or you'll break your
you're
bloody
right.
skull.
It was Hannah. Oh, great. It works even better then.
Yes. But yes, Peter got.
Yes,
Also,
by
I would like to point. Sorry, I would
Go
like
ahead.
to point out that 2 podcasts ago, at the end of episode 2, Kevin said that Miles was being possessed by Peter.
Yeah.
Excuse me, I thought that was me.
I think we all.
I just
brought up at
agreed with
different
it.
points,
Well,
Yeah.
did, and I could neither confirm nor deny it.
I don't remember
I also
who it was,
had-
but
I also explicitly was talking about that in the last one, but yeah.
All right, Kevin, tell them your fucking theory.
no, my main theory is about next episode.
Yeah, okay.
No,
It's the Peter got got.
Well, no. So
This-
Peter got by the lady in the lake, right? No face.
Yes. Yes.
She's definitely Charlotte, though, right?
That's
The
what
mom?
that's what I'm currently theorizing. It's flimsy at best. Because while she does have the look of Charlotte and the motivation of her being there, in terms of who she gets, and she was present not when the Wingraves were alive, but before Rebecca died. But at the same note, Nat had made mention that there was, because I talked about this with him too, and he had stated he thought there was some line that Flora said in the first episode that was like, where it's like, oh, your parents, where Danny's like, oh, your parents are always with you, and she's like, no, they're not here, but I appreciate you trying to make me feel better, or something like that.
You're
So-
right. I now that I think about it, because the
The
house takes people that die there, I think, because the Wingraves died in India, which they keep repeatedly emphasizing. I think now that I'm looking back on it, especially in episode 6, where they're just like, "Nah, fucking accident in India." Some kind, of which nature has not been revealed yet. But
The one I'm disagreeing with you on that was because it's still, and we didn't see him at all these 2 episodes, but
no, Eddie's
Danny,
not here
yeah,
anymore.
we didn't see Eddie, but he was at the fire at the end of episode 4.
Yeah,
like
but Eddie,
he's
I
standing there
don't think-
on his own.
But I don't think Eddie is a spirit like the rest of them. I think he is just the manifestation of Danny's guilt.
Just like I think that Henry's little Henry's friend
we're not
is
on
not.
that episode yet.
I know,
we're not
I know, but it's a similar concept. Just wanted to bring up the.
Mm.
But the interesting thing with to point out is that all the more recent spirits, I should say, as in Rebecca, Peter, and Hannah, I guess, is that they all very clearly look like how they were when they were alive.
And I think I have an idea about that.
And whereas Whereas Lady in the Lake, and we'll get to the other one next episode, they don't have the face, and that's where the title card thing comes in now, with how the no face thing works.
Now I just had a thought. It's just kind of a stray thought, but like just now, there's some quote, I'm probably gonna butcher it, but like something along the lines of, you die 2 deaths when you die, like in real life, and when the last time someone says your name or something like that.
I was literally gonna bring this up. Holy shit! I actually just saw a meme yesterday
The quote is, you die 2 deaths. Once when you physically die, and then once when you are no longer a thought in anyone's brain.
which is just
something like that. Yeah, it's similar. Yeah.
But I saw a great tweet yesterday, like literally yesterday, and it started off as that where it's like I don't know what's scarier, like one day you'll have your last thought, or one day someone will have their last thought of you. And then someone responded and said, "Not if I eat the Mona Lisa."
Yeah, he said that.
And I was just kind of like, I gotta go eat the Mona Lisa now. But yeah, I mean, I kind of had a similar thought where like maybe the faces are disappearing as people forget about them, like forget about what they look like, because like less and less people are alive now that knew what the Wingraves looked like.
Mm-hmm.
So now there's less and less of them. They're becoming less meaningful, less like physical. And oh, thanks for the bits, Patrick.
Substantial.
Hey, Patrick.
What you were trying to say.
So how long has Hannah been a ghost? Because the way it played out,
A
it
week.
looked like it was immediately right before
Yeah,
Danny
it was.
got there.
It was because episode
Miles
1 when
pushed her and Flora came with
Okay.
Danny.
because remember
Well, I-
episode
I-
1
the
she's
time
looking
was
down the well.
Time was acting super fucky this entire episode, so I'm not 100% certain whether I believe that
do
or
you
not.
want me to confirm that, or do you want me to keep it?
No.
No.
Okay.
That
How
seems
many?
pretty
How
important.
before we move on to episode 6, how many of us have a note say? Because my last note for episode 5 says "fuck you for calling it, Kevin." How many of us have similar notes?
I don't take notes.
That's
Oh, well.
literally
I
my
don't
first
think so.
message to the Twitter chat was
Close enough.
like right after I finished that episode. I'm like, well, okay.
And then I read that message and I'm like, because I didn't see it yet, but I knew.
But the problem
You're
was that
annoying.
Mike sent that, and I knew exactly what he's talking about, despite not seeing the episode yet. So fuck you for spoiling it, Mike.
Well, he
Like I
said
said, there's still a bit of denial about it that I have about it, but I want to see how a little bit more of the world building in terms of the ghost.
I think that there are no rules for ghosts in this universe. They can just do whatever the fuck they
Oh, it's
want.
fountain rules. There are no rules.
It's fountain rules.
Oh god, it's going on. It's fountain rules. And the other bit of citation I had for that was like the in terms of when Peter first becomes a ghost, like they very clearly show that he is, because he has trouble picking up Flora's doll.
But he can pick it up.
Yes,
so
he can.
Eventually he does, but the first 2 attempts he
They're physical
didn't.
still, though.
Right.
Yeah, so like I said, like I said, I just want a further explanation because I want Kevin to be at least partially wrong.
Yeah, this
I don't think
wasn't
I'm
like,
wrong, Monica.
I wasn't thinking of this. I thought of this earlier today, not because of Bly Manor, but because of something just totally random, and I think it applies here. It's from Max Landis's Death of Superman videos.
Ooh, awesome video.
Where he says,
Great
how do you kill a vampire? And then he's like, oh, stake through the heart, cross, garlic, and then he goes, no, you can kill a vampire however you want, because vampires don't fucking exist.
That's just
So-
what I've kind of taken that philosophy into like my fan fiction writing. It's just like, well, how would I pull this off? However the fuck I want. It's my story. I do what I want.
Yeah, I mean, Stanley pretty much said like when Spider-Man and the Hulk fight, Spider-Man wins because he says it because he writes it that way. Like, it's
Well,
fiction.
and
The
then-
writer writes it that way. There is no argument.
And
like,
then James
yeah.
Cameron and in the Titanic with the door, that there was clearly enough space for both of them. He's like,
MythBusters did an entire episode on it.
yeah. And then and Steve's just like, James is just like, he died because I said he died.
Yeah, like
there was actually a deleted scene where someone else tried to get on the door, and Jack was like, "No, go away."
Oh, okay.
No.
Yeah.
well, yeah,
So,
because the MythBusters did a whole thing where they essentially had a replica of the door floating on a lake, and then they were both able to get on it and sit there for like an hour, and then they went and presented it to James Cameron, and James Cameron's like, "No, I'm right."
Yeah. Well, I think the point of the deleted scene was like, if a bunch of people see people floating on a door, everyone's gonna try and get on
Anyway,
it. So
back
Jack was
to
there.
Bly
Yeah, I was
Manor.
about to say, I think that's all that we really have to say about episode 5.
Yeah, but anyone else got some last
Episode
thoughts? I think that's all I got.
6.
I got some more, but nah.
I'm gonna jack off in all of Kevin's bathrooms when I get there.
So episode
Okay.
6 was more of the flashbacky things, but it had a
Flora.
big focus on Henry and Flora.
Flora.
Because
Yeah.
we find out that Flora is Henry's daughter.
Yes.
Because Henry and Charlotte are dirty cheaters.
Poor Dominic. This
There-
man.
Ah.
There was a fantastic moment.
Can I say my theory?
that when Nat was in a second, I just want to share this funny thing. When Nat and I were watching, and they first show where Flora's like, "Mommy, mommy, mommy," and they go to the bedroom, and you can see Henry in the background, and we just both go, "Oh, oh,"
Oh, yeah.
it just in unison.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think I called it like halfway through the episode before I was just like, I see.
Yes, but jumping back a little bit to what Steve was saying, that the man with the shit-eating grin, as Dominic put it, is very much a manifestation of Henry's guilt rather than an otherworldly spirit.
Yeah, like
I think it's a ghost.
The subtitles literally call it alter ego.
I do think it's a manifestation of his guilt, but kind of like how Eddie didn't really have like a physical form until the manor. I think people who live at the manor may be more like susceptible to stuff like that, because it's not just someone it's not just like a voice in his head. It's someone who physically pops up, because when we see it first pop up, he has a very visceral fear reaction, like, holy fucking shit, that's me, dear, what the fuck is happening?
It goes even further.
I still think it has something to do with, but it is a manifestation of his own guilt at the same time. Am I making sense?
Yes, I have theory.
Yes, what is your theory?
We've seen pretty much, if the Lady in the Lake is Charlotte, the only person that we haven't seen that has died is Dominic, right?
Mhm.
We have not seen
Uh-huh.
Dominic here yet. He's not at the manor, or we haven't seen him yet at the manor. I think that, and if our kind of running theory here, Steve,
Dominic
is true.
died in India.
I know. That doesn't matter, though, I don't think. I think that essentially, it's kind of a combination of both things. Because of the whole theory that we have going that, like, you know, the last person that thinks of you ever, like, no one's thinking of Dominic anymore, and maybe the only one that's thinking about him is his brother, Henry, because he's guilty. And that guilt is, like, making it so he looks like him because he's physical. Henry pours a drink, and then other Henry picks it up and drinks it. Right? Like we never saw what's the boyfriend's name?
Eddie.
yeah.
Eddie.
We never saw Eddie touch anything as a ghost or
Well-
move anything as a ghost. He just
we
stood
saw
there.
her touch her. We saw him touch her waist, but
Yeah, but that's just maybe not
It's just
the waist might have been someone else, but like he definitely had his hand on her shoulder, but like there was no like physical like changing of
objects
the
got
actual
moved.
clothes. Yeah, like he actually physically picks up a drink and drinks it. Like he changes things, like he touches the phone and stuff. And
I think that was probably just like kind of a Fight Club thing where it's hit. I don't know.
See, here's
I think Dominic is trying to get him to go to Bly. Like I think he's trying to pull him into Bly so he can
So
die
you think
there.
the Henry thing is Dominic?
I think the Henry ghost is Dominic, and he's trying to pull him back to Bly so we can kill him there.
See, I think
Eh.
the issue with some of our analyses is some of us are going into this with a very classical horror mindset of it's all metaphor, And then we have Kevin over here going, "No, it's actually happening." And the
Well,
show's
you see-
like, "Yeah, it's actually."
Well, it is
happening."
God
Well, because
horror, though.
and here's the thing. I was actually just thinking about this morning, Mike. You watch something and you analyze it like more like a classically trained
Yeah,
author.
I'm more interested in the themes behind it than the actual plot behind
Yeah,
it.
you fucking
I-
English major.
I watch stuff and I analyze and I predict in a way that I'm putting myself into the story, and then I'm just trying to think of what's going to happen next as I'm going to write it next. Like, I'm thinking more about it as just like the writer writing it, not like the meaning behind it and stuff like that. Because I mean, it's the whole thing where it's like, oh, the curtains were blue, so she was depressed. Like I don't care about that
behind-
stuff.
Yeah, I feel like Mike and I both just had a very, very visceral reaction
Yes,
to
that-
that comment there.
Yes, because I want to stab that fucking Tumblr user.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I agree.
I mean, it's just the easiest thing for me to like pick up and just go with. But I mean, like, I don't know, when I read or watch something, I'm putting myself in the story and I'm thinking about what would I write next, where would I go with this story.
You're
And
putting
'cause-
yourself more in a thrills engagement level type, like very in the moment kind of writing, I suppose.
I wouldn't call myself at this point in my life. I wouldn't call myself a writer. I'd call myself a storyteller, if that makes sense.
Oh boy.
Like that sounds really like cringy and
That's
stuff like
super
that.
pretentious,
But
Mike.
it's true. I mean, like,
Pretentious it sounds, but I get it.
yeah. I mean, it makes sense. Like, I like telling stories. Like, I don't care about the details. I like the overarching
Anyway,
story.
cutting back to the theory real quick before we delve any
Thank you.
too far into that. I like your idea. I just think it's too. I feel like there would have been more clues at that was. I'm not gonna say you're wrong because I can kind of see that, but like
I'm
He's
gonna
saying
say
you're
you're wrong.
See,
That's fine. I mean, if I'm wrong, I'm wrong.
Yeah, I'm gonna say you're wrong.
I mean, this theory I'm much less confident about than the whole like Hannah
yeah,
thing. Like the
kinda
Hannah
thought
thing, I
Hannah
was
the
like,
ghost was too obvious for them to do. I was just like, that's
Oh,
what
no, this is
I
like
thought
cheesy
that was gonna
ghost
be like a
stories.
red herring, but
But getting back to Henry, when that particular alter ego thing, I was just like, I have done this before. This is very
close to home.
anxiety-ridden.
Although going back a little bit to it, they don't correct me if I'm wrong. They don't explicitly say what the accident was.
Correct. We don't know.
That all that we know is that there was some sort, and based on his playing of the phone, it sounds and with the bearing of empty caskets, it's the type of accident that
you don't have bodies left from.
like a plane crash or something. Like
I'm gonna go with elephant stampede.
They did die in what,
I
Africa?
was going with horrific automobile crash, but
but even so, like a horrific automobile crash, there's still something, but there was nothing.
it might just not be worth shipping home, you know?
Keep in mind too. I mean, is Flora the only one that has said that
What?
that there were no bodies or something?
No,
In the caskets?
There was they keep talking about how the fact that they buried empty caskets.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm almost certain multiple people mentioned that in this
Yeah,
episode.
Okay. There's also the possibility that the caskets were empty because they needed to like bury them in like an actual grave, because like a lot of times families will have actual grave sites and tombs and stuff where like there's space for them, so they need to put something there. But if
They
their
literally
bodies
have it on the grounds.
But if their bodies were mangled and stuff like that, they could be cremated and their ashes could be in Bly Manor.
Well, they explicitly said empty caskets.
Yeah, I know. And the caskets could be empty because when you cremate someone, you turn them into ash. You don't put them in
Well,
a casket.
You'd think they would have brought up cremation by this
They
Yeah.
would have brought that up. I think whatever happened to them, whatever's left of them, is still in India.
I don't know.
I think
I'm not
it's-
sold
I
on it
think
yet.
I think it's deliberately pointed out to exclude them from the ghosts of the manor, just as a storytelling as a storytelling mechanism.
Could be.
Yeah. Yes. Also,
could be was like, yeah, maybe, but you're wrong.
No, I mean,
also,
could be.
there is a wild aspect of like just in the fact of, because there's the scene with Dominic and Charlotte talking about it took me 6 years to do the math. It's like, damn, they kept that act up for 6+ years. I can't fucking imagine what that must feel like.
Props to Dominic for not immediately becoming Insano Rage husband.
Yeah, oh my god, yes.
Because I thought that was how they were gonna die at first. Like,
we don't know that it isn't how they died.
Or if the reason that Henry has so much immense guilt over is that he had a hand in it somehow.
See, I have a note on that. Where is it? It's basically saying like, did he kill Dom or is he just sad? I'm leaning towards he's just sad because he seemed like legitimately shocked when he picked up that phone and it's like, yo, there was an accident, and he's like, oh, like.
I will give this. We also don't hear the voice on the other line. We do not hear the voice on the other line say there's been an accident.
True.
Yes.
Also, we're ignoring a big thing here in this episode.
What's up? Oh, the fact that Flora keeps getting like stored and put up on the shelf.
What?
Tucked
Stored,
away.
Tucked away,
That's
stored
what she
on a
said.
shelf.
Oh, well, so she's sleepwalking, but also
She's not sleepwalking.
there's
the creepy ghost child.
the creepy ghost boy.
Yeah.
Or highly doubt highly question if it's a boy, but I mean, depending on what era that child may have been from, it may have been from a time where
I'm looking at Wikipedia. It says ghost boy. Sorry.
Don't look at Wikipedia.
Why are you looking at Wikipedia, dipshit?
I do
Is
it.
this where he
No,
gets his theories
no,
from?
no. I do it. So what I do is on my other screen is I have the episodes pulled up to the bottom, so I can't see episode 7. I can't even see the title of episode 7 right now. But I do it so I know,
I mean, I know what the
what's
title
in the
is.
next episode. Or no,
Well-
sorry, I do it so I remember what's in the episode.
Well, the reason I question the boy
Exposed.
thing, there's because my brain is like, well, I mean, there, in terms of the gendered clothing, in certain eras of time, that there was a time where there wasn't any gendered clothing until like age 5. Thanks, American Girl, for teaching me that one. But that was in like the 1700s. But there also is still the one tile that they show in the cemetery of Viola, or who was it? Viola
Viola.
Floyd?
Yeah, Viola.
The grave rubbing.
Yeah, the grave rubbing. And I didn't remember what the years were, but I'm like, maybe that's the child.
Could be.
We did find out though that he's the one that moves the dolls at night.
Yes.
So
Shit! I didn't make that connection.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
he's the one causing all the movement on the Marauders map.
He's the Marauders map boy.
So he's a nice ghost, sorta.
I'm
There isn't
assuming.
anything malicious
I mean,
we've seen him do.
he seems neutral like either he's like a nice ghost, like yo,
I'd
scary
assume he's
ladies out-
warning them. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm saying he's a nice ghost. Like he's like, oh look, scary ladies out to get you tonight. Stay the
He might
fuck
be
inside.
scared- he
Also,
might, he might be scared of the lady in the
Yeah,
woods.
that's what I'm saying. Like he's either warning, he's neutral at worst.
I would like
Like,
to point out that, and this still all tracks, Dab, that what we saw earlier, where in a previous episode where Danny was drunk and then like they were like distracting her as the lady like walked behind her.
Mhm.
Yeah.
She's on a very specific path. Like she goes into the manor, she goes up the stairs, and if I think if she runs into people, she kills them, kind of thing. And
Yeah,
then so she
because
grabbed Peter, dragged him back to Charlotte in
West Wing.
Dominic's room, and then came back and went back to the lake, which is why I think it's Charlotte, because she went like towards her own room.
Yeah, the reason
That's my
that
thought.
I'm like, I don't entirely disagree with you, but the connection to it being Charlotte is is a little flimsy, and I can't be
Who else would
persuaded
it be
otherwise.
though? Who else would it
I
be?
think it's just an older.
Viola Floyd.
I think it's just an old ghost from the manor. It sounds like it's been doing this for a long time, which brings me to another thing I'd like to bring up.
Exhibit A.
What?
See, no, I'm sorry. I have to be a little bit on Kevin's side this time because, like,
That's a
we
shocker.
don't really get evidence of the ghosts showing up until I'm pretty sure Flora doesn't start interacting with any ghosts until after the parents die.
No, disagree because she says explicitly when she's working with Ghost Boy,
Oh,
she's like,
yeah,
"Oh,
yeah.
I'm H5, but I know I'm 8. The math's all wrong." So,
Well, that's just from her dreams, yeah.
but
She's
still,
dreaming, yeah.
But yeah,
So-
that implies that she was 5 when that dream happened.
but she
when
also
she met
talks
him.
about that she's like, "I want to be in a dream, not a memory." So they're not necessarily dreams.
And another thing that I was bringing up, Henry mentioned something about I don't really know where it is in my notes, but he had a imaginary friend at the house that I don't think
That's
was
annoying.
imaginary friends. He
Trying
said
to
it was
summon
a
Danny.
what?
Soldier.
A soldier of some kind, which leads me to believe I think it was a ghost that he just rationalized away with his adult brain. But that's just my theory. It was a passing reference, but I was just like, seems important.
Yeah, and
She's right there.
oh,
Unless
Aye.
he was just trying to make
We
Laura
also
feel better, but
yeah, it's possible.
yeah.
We also, I think it's already been brought up, but the ghosty phone calls have been revealed to be Henry trying to
Yeah.
get Flora to answer this whole time.
And have her say Flora resident, which is like, oh,
was-
that's really sad, actually. Oh,
Yeah.
Well,
I'm amazed at how quickly Henry became one of the most interesting characters. in the
Yes.
show.
Any other-
as is kind of the theme with a lot of these discussions. Trauma's weird, yo.
Yeah.
There was a line where Omar said he was going to take some ghosts to court take down some ghosts in a court of law, and I appreciate that. And then there's a bit in the episode where Jamie and Danny are talking about plants and Jamie's backstory, which was fucking great.
And then there's
Yes.
also the end where
No, Mike, I saw Mike make a face,
I think the actual script was really solid,
but
but at one point it was going on at the 5-minute mark of her story.
Yeah.
I'm like, this is like an anime dialogue at this point. Like,
it
Fair.
did go on a little bit long. I don't think Danny actually literally said once Jamie started talking, Danny didn't say a fucking word until the scene was over. The scene just ended with them smooching.
well,
These-
because she knew that it takes.
No, I mean I understand that, but like it was
I
one
think
long
even if there was
monologue.
It was a really
even
good
if there was some more visual variety to break it up, would have made it a lot more. Would have made the pacing of it better, but it's just monologue straight, which
I have a comment about that, but I'm gonna save that till the very end.
I think we're at the very end.
I
Yeah.
don't disagree with Mike. I did feel it went on a little long. The script was solid though. Like it really drew me in, but like it's not like I was like glancing at my watch or anything like that. But looking back on it, it's just like, yeah, that scene probably could have been chopped a little bit.
So the other two important beats that we have not gone over yet is while it's been very obvious from like almost episode 1 that Peter has been possessing Miles, which is true to the original story, BT Dubs, is that it seems that Rebecca has been influencing Flora in some way, shape, or form with the little forehead boops.
And none of you guessed that.
She's making her pass out and stuff.
Yeah.
She's tucking
To
her
be fair,
away.
this is really the first we've actually seen of her getting tucked away. Seems like it's a more recent phenomenon.
Yeah.
Like as in like
it's more recent in her saying it, but there have been times throughout the story where we've just seen Flora just walking off places.
Yeah.
Yeah, and constantly walking toward the lake.
Episode ends with
Cliffhanger.
Danny catches Rebecca talking to Flora, and then freaks out, takes Flora out of the room, and then Peter's there, and then Peter touches Miles, and then Miles knocks Flora out, or Miles knocks Danny out.
And my last note is, damn it, Jamie, why aren't you here to fight Ghost? She threatened to fight Ghost before. I'd like to see her throw down with Peter Quint.
You're good.
I mean, to be fair, she would 200% throw down if she actually saw him.
100%.
So they needed to have a way to have her not there.
Yeah.
Hey, Harry.
I had a note that there's a lot of real and trauma ghosts in this show.
Yes.
Or are they all ghosts?
Oh, there was this.
Are ghosts created from our trauma?
Yeah, probably.
Yes.
Is
There
that the whole message?
was a great scene in Henry's office where he's about to head out to Bly Manor, and his alter ego keeps popping up. Like, he picks up his coat, whereas the apparition was standing over at the desk, he picks up his coat and it's standing behind the coat rack. I was like, ooh, not a transition, but very similar. I appreciate that.
The transition still continued to be absolute fire, and I'm here for it.
And I don't remember the context, but there was a mild Star Wars reference where somebody, I couldn't tell you who said it. If someone says "I love you" and someone else says "I know,"
that was Charlotte.
okay.
That was Charlotte. Yeah,
that was Charlotte and Henry. When she was like, "I'm going to say goodbye."
I don't think it was a deliberate Star Wars reference, but I mean,
so I'm not the only one who picked up on that. Then okay,
yeah.
So
I love you. No, so the one final thing, Nat had brought this up as at the very end of our at the end of watching, and I'm like, you know what? I think you might be right. He had a theory that I wanted to share, that he thinks that Jamie is the narrator.
Well, didn't we explicitly discover that the narrator was Danny in the first episode?
No, because she said this story is not my own. And he made a note that the dialect that the narrator has is very similar to the dialect
no, it does have an accent.
Why does he look so much like Danny then?
It didn't.
That was my immediate impression, was that it
just
was
the hair was the
Danny.
same.
I think
the hair was just the same, pretty much.
Yeah, and then
he
was like, now I'm trying to think.
Then what the fuck was the point of that scene?
Wait, because the narrator has an accent, don't they?
Yes, she does.
Danny definitely does not.
Yeah.
Oh, it's totally Jamie.
Yeah.
Well, no, Jamie has a much different accent.
Yeah, Jamie has a very distinct dialect, and there was something about the ooze that he noticed that the narrator did, that Jamie also did in an episode, and having such an explicit exposition dump for Jamie instead of having flashbacks.
You're right, Harry. Danny has an American accent, like us.
Quick question.
Jamie just sounds normal.
Would you say,
that's fair.
Would you say that Jamie is English or something else?
I would say she's lower class English, because she's got a little bit more of
Cockney.
lower class Cockney
Harry,
thing going on.
Harry, what is Jamie? We need to ask our fellow
Peter's
Not you guys.
Scottish, right?
Yeah, Peter's Scottish.
Peter is Scottish.
I need to turn on subtitles whenever
Jamie's
Peter
definitely
talks.
got that working class English to her.
That shoots a little hole in my notice, but I was gonna point out that all of the help are non-English, but I don't know about Jamie now. So
What are you talking about? Rahul is.
or not English in
Owen is.
not English
Ethnicity.
Yeah, that's fair.
Well,
Northern.
I think Owen is still English. He just went to study in France.
Now he is English in nationality, but not in
skin
Northern.
color.
Wow,
Harry
really?
says that she sounds northern.
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 Are we cool with watching the last 3 episodes for the next episode?
be
This
honest-
week's gonna be actually pretty busy for me. I don't know.
I'd
Okay,
I'd
I mean,
much
if you-
rather
if you
do all
want-
three
if you want my
personally.
opinion,
Then we
I'd-
can push it off a
Wait,
week.
let's get
because-
Chris's opinion because they know
No,
how.
no, apparently Steve wants to wait another week.
No, I want to know your opinion, please.
We cannot stop at 2. We have to
think
watch
I
the
can make
third
that
one.
That's fine. That's fine. But like Vanessa's aunt and uncle are in town this weekend, and I am not going to have like any time to watch this. They're
So
not
just
leaving
start-
until Monday. So
Start earlier.
and what?
Start earlier.
You can watch
You take
it,
notes?
like, tomorrow or
I
next
mean,
day.
sure. I also can we. Time to bring it up now, but
Zombie also
can
says watch all 3.
Yeah, Harry and
Yeah,
I have the
alright.
same. We need to. You can't stop it. You
Fuck 'em.
can't stop it.
Fuck
because of the last
'em.
one. I'm sorry.
What were you gonna ask, Steve?
No, I was gonna say I have an appointment next Tuesday, so if we could push to Wednesday, I think that would be ideal for me.
No.
Oh,
Yeah, we could probably do that. Okay, so yeah, we'll
We could discuss that more off stream.
we'll do
Because we're not.
We'll try
even done with
doing-
our podcast yet, and it's already been an
Yeah.
hour and 19 minutes.
Yeah,
we'll
I
try
mean,
doing
that's
7, 8, 9 for
fine.
next week, and then we'll
Fine,
announce
It's just so infectious to talk.
we'll announce the next podcast on the next media club on the 21st, and then the first episode of whatever that'll be will be on November 12th or October 12th. Sorry,
October 12th, yeah.
because
We missed
Monica will be
that.
out a week. No,
right.
Monica will be out a week, and then we will be out a week.
Um,
Okay. Just because we're low on time, let's skip ahead.
With you.
Let's skip ahead to Monica's movie. And Monica, I'm so sorry. I actually have to leave for a second. I have to go check
mean-
on something work related.
I mean,
like, he
I
literally
think
does.
given what my movie
Unless
is,
he's-
that's 200% valid.
I'm mostly leaving because I have to go check on something work related.
I know, but I think this is valid. So anyway, the movie of this week was Shang-Chi, or as the move or as things are pronounced. Oh, good. Okay.
The hell's going on?
I don't
You
know.
have a movie for me, Zombie? Put it in the chat and I'll look at that later. So, or as it's pronounced, Shang-Chi. And I'm going to try my damnedest to treat this as non-spoilery as possible. But it is a very nice return to form, especially with Black Widow being
We didn't watch Black Widow yet, so.
yeah, it's fine, but Marvel movies are kind of like pizza, even if it's, and sex for that matter, even if it's bad, it's still pretty good.
Apparently, you haven't had some really bad pizza before.
I mean, have you?
Oh yeah.
Yes.
I have.
Anyway,
Mushroom
but
spinach pizza with.
Oh, a Serbian film? I have heard. No.
it's called
No.
a Serbian film. I'll have
No.
to.
Do not.
Her-
I'll.
No.
Oh, it's this.
No, Monica, trust
Ooh.
me. You will. No.
Okay.
Just-
I
Like, it's. I don't
Okay,
know
okay,
anything
okay.
about it, but it's
Any-
very sexual and violent, and you would not enjoy it.
Anyway, but Shang-Chi, or I pronounce it the correct way, because one of the very fun things, and sort of one of the big things I was just kind of thinking about in general, is like the Marvel formula, and just noticing it's kind of blossomed into its own genre with its own level of stock characters, like in terms of like certain roles, like in terms of like film noir and whatnot, and melodramas, where there are these specific roles, and Marvel's kind of built on top of that. Not saying that's a bad thing, it's just in terms of what differentiates something that's a good Marvel movie versus a bad Marvel movie, because I really enjoyed Shang-Chi. I really enjoyed it. I just want to make sure that's very, very clear. But it was just one of those things I was thinking about, is like, what makes Shang-Chi good? Versus, say, like, some of the other Marvel movies that may not have been as critically received. What makes it different? And I feel like part of what makes a successful Marvel movie is either a very well defined, rounded hero or villain, or both, and a very strong world building. And Shang-Chi has all of that. A lot of people cite the fight scenes as being really good, and to that I say, well, no shit. I mean, the character is originally based off of Bruce Lee, and his main power in the comics is being really good at kung fu, so if they fucked that up, that would be really fucking bad. So
It's basically just a Bruce Lee Marvel movie, essentially. It's a kung fu movie except Marvel and superpowers.
pretty much.
Nice.
But
I'm
if,
in.
and if you're like, wait a second, but where did the 10 Rings come in? I know the comics, and I know that's not related to Shang-Chi. Don't worry, that gets addressed.
All I need to know is if Ben Kingsley is in it.
So, anyway,
which I have a feeling he might
Steve,
be. Don't
stop
tell me
interrupting
if he,
people.
so Simu Liu. I'm trying to think of who that was in the movie. My
He's
brain
the
is.
main character.
Oh yeah, duh. Anyway, but yes, he's adorable, and there's a lot of fun allusions to just the backdrop of building that kind of Chinese culture as well, and other little various references to Asian culture as well is very wonderful. And one thing that I will explicitly state is I am very, 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 very glad that they did not take the low-hanging fruit for doing a bullshit romantic subplot, and I am so glad about it. But anyway, would highly recommend. It is currently in theaters and in theaters only because they. You are correct, Harry. You are correct. There is a ton of Pokemon in the movie. Can confirm. But yeah, I'm gonna keep it short and sweet because I know this is one that people really want to see, and I can't really divulge too much further into it without going into spoilers, spoiler territory. But yes, would recommend.
Well,
We're gonna see it either Thursday or Sunday, depending on how our days work out.
Neil.
Well, since Kevin's not back yet and we're talking about movies, I can talk about a movie I saw this weekend.
Yeah, go
I
for it.
watched Green Lantern, the Ryan Reynolds movie that is infinitely panned by everyone, and
Including Ryan Reynolds.
He regrets being in that movie.
Question though, question. Is this a rewatch or did you watch it for the first time?
Oh no, I've seen it before. This is a rewatch. So I didn't really remember a lot of it. All right,
Before you go on, I just want to point out that Trumpet Steve watched it as well, so you were on the same Steve wavelength.
Okay.
There definitely is a Steve
didn't
wavelength.
think it was as bad as everyone thinks it is. As someone who's actually a pretty big fan of like Green Lantern just in general, it could have been worse. It could have been a lot worse. Like the acting was okay, a lot of Ryan Reynolds' dialogue was fucking terrible, but that's not his fault. But Mark Strong plays Sinestro, and and Mark Strong plays Sinestro, future bad guy, and he turned in a really fucking good performance, like Mark Strong always fucking does. If you don't know who Mark Strong is, he is Merlin in the Kingsman series, or at least that's what I know him from.
Oh yeah, my beautiful bald man. Yes.
Yeah, beautiful bald man. That's Mark Strong. I guarantee you.
I watched Kingsman.
I need to see that like third movie that came out like right before COVID, and I don't know. Anyway, it was just called The Kingsman. Anyway,
I think that's upcoming. Actually,
I guess they haven't.
Because I saw a trailer.
No,
for
they
Shang-Chi.
only have Kingsman and then Kingsman and the Golden.
They have the Golden Circle, and then there's
Secret
another movie
Service.
called The King's Man.
Yeah.
Singular.
I think that's coming out soon.
Okay,
because I saw that as a trailer.
It was supposed to come out pre-pandemic,
Well,
but
pandemic,
but you know, Oh yeah, I would. So I actually saw there's like actually a couple of Green Lantern projects in the works right now. I think they want to make like a TV show. And I thought I saw something where Mark Strong wanted to reprise his role as Sinestro. 100% down with that. He turned in a great performance. The special effects were actually quite good, with the exception of the CGI suit, which was bad. It was bad. The mask looked especially terrible, and I was just like, why would you choose to do this? It's just, you can't just CGI an entire movie, or at least you shouldn't. Did you learn nothing for the prequels? I don't know. I thought it was better than people make it out to be. It definitely wasn't a good movie, and I won't be watching it again anytime soon, but like, it wasn't horrible. Fine.
Apparently, Taika Waititi was in that
He
movie.
was. Taika Waititi. It was what played Ryan Reynolds' best friend, and I'm just like, hold up, is that what the fuck is Taika Waititi doing in this movie?
After that
love
movie
Taika
came
Waititi.
out, the only thing that I remember is that my dad could not understand why people found Ryan Reynolds attractive, because he had such a giant forehead, and I'm like, I can never unsee this.
No, he's beautiful.
Big. I mean, have you seen my forehead or my brother's? They're pretty big, but
But Ryan Reynolds also has equivalent forehead surface area to yours.
Peter
I have
Skarsgård is
more.
also in that movie, and that is a massive fucking forehead.
well, yes, but also he also ends up getting literally a giant head in that movie. So I mean, they play into it.
Giant head.
No, like his head literally grows. It's a whole thing.
They don't get a big head about it.
Fuck off. But yeah, Green Lantern was okay at best. It was. I don't think it's as horrible as everyone thinks it is, but I'm easily pleased by movies.
We know.
Wow.
Oh, I loved Kingsman too.
Yeah, it was good.
Sorry,
Is
you-
movie
you
corner over?
No, you missed that we were talking about it. Yep, both movie corners are over.
Yes.
Oh, okay. Oh yeah, he got a big head. I know what you're talking about now.
Yeah.
Not as bad as everyone says it is, in my opinion.
That's literally what
Yeah.
Steve. Oh yeah, you weren't.
Yep. That's my
Yeah.
opinion too.
Not as bad.
Yeah, that's
Still not a
what
good
Steve
movie,
spent the
but
last 5 minutes
No.
talking
okay,
about.
cool.
No, I also brought up the fact that Mark Strong did really good as Sinestro.
Mark Strong. He's our.
Yeah, and then-
bald man.
And that huge cliffhanger at the end where he puts on the yellow ring, and then you're like, ooh, a sequel. And it's just like,
Oh,
nope.
Like that, like the whole so in the comics, the reason I like Green Lanterns because there's like now there's a whole like spectrum of color core. Like there's blue, which is like calming stuff. Red is like rage.
for a long time.
What?
I like the
The different colored rings have been a thing for a very long
Oh
time.
yeah, early 2000s. But like, I don't have the money to spend to buy all the comics anymore. So
Even then, I
I
think
like the
even
cat
before
that
that.
becomes a Red Lantern.
I think
Really?
that's a great little storyline actually.
Hang on.
Yeah, it's
Oh,
it's good.
Dexter. Yeah.
It's fine.
Look, a boy.
So Mike is
Yeah.
Dexter.
kind of
Dexter.
TikTok famous, I guess.
No, he's
I'm
He's
I'm not, but I like to think that I am.
Mike likes to think he's cool.
semi-viral.
Yeah.
7,000 is
So,
good.
I
He's easily the most viral out of all of us.
So I made like a sort of semi-viral tweet a while ago that I was like, "What genre of anime is this?" And it was I put pictures of Takagi-san, Nagatoro-san, Uzaki-chan, and Komi-san, different anime, and I was like, "What? They're different anime that have very similar genre trappings." So I was like, "Well, what anime is this?" And just had people quote tweet it into oblivion. But eventually I see I'm trying to post a link in the chat, but the fucking URL is so long that
Oh,
happens. So
It's
hopefully that actually okay.
I didn't
so-
really get it. Like what? I assume it was.
I didn't get the joke though. It's like neat. I know that guy.
You have to listen to the
like,
music that's playing.
right.
Did you guys listen to it with the sound on?
Oh no.
Oh, just listen to the
listened
lyrics.
Sound on and I still didn't get it.
The sound still didn't mean anything to me.
Yeah,
Anyone
talking
care to
about-
explain the joke?
I mean, it's just
But she different.
The joke
That's why your friends need
from
respect.
the quote tweet, I guess, of what my thing is a lot of these shows.
Oh, he was
focus
just
on-
saying "fuck you" to the guy that commented on you.
Oh, is that
To
what
the lonely
joke- okay.
dudes who get no bitches.
What?
Okay. Well,
Okay.
my favorite response to that was someone I know who another anime person was titled it Buddy Cope.
I saw that. Yeah.
Buddy Cop.
That's funny.
Oh, the guy that made that
Jesus.
video actually has some pretty successful TikToks. Like one with 31,000, one with 40,000,
That's
one
probably-
with 272,000,
Well,
That's
damn.
probably why it was
291,000.
7,000.
Yeah.
What in the hell is that
Okay,
nightmare
so
link?
I'm at his. I can actually see it from his page now. That TikTok has 40,000 views.
Yeah, it has 40,000 views, 7,000 loves, 500 comments, and a bunch of shares.
So, moving on.
Moving on.
My topic that confused everyone is what's written on the page on our topic sheet is Ted Cruz is still a piece of shit and why you can't has burrito.
Okay.
I
The
mean,
first half I understand.
Ted Cruz is a piece of shit and water is wet. What's the second part?
So
yeah, the burrito is what confuses me.
Ted Cruz
mean.
and the words "get a job" were trending today on Twitter,
Ooh.
because AP or some other news source
No.
put out a link saying like unemployment benefits due to COVID ended today or something, and then so Ted
Yeah.
Cruz retweeted it saying "get a job."
He retreated it?
He retweeted it.
Just
And
like he retreated from Texas when the storm.
Oh.
Cancun Ted.
Hey-oh.
That one
Topical.
gets golf clap.
And
it's
I don't know
finger.
if you zombie Ted Cruz is a dipshit Republican
I'm on
from
it.
Texas.
Keep talking. I'm on it.
But
Yeah,
anyways,
his name isn't spelled as cool as Tom Cruise.
Yeah.
No,
It's
he's
spelled
he's
Cruz the
he's the-
C-R-U-Z way.
a governor.
Senator.
He's a senator.
Senator Tom
Senator.
Cruz.
but then the whole burrito part of it was kind of relevant because today I tried going to Chipotle and
That's where I thought you were going with
and
this.
Chipotle was closed next to my work. They were closed until 3. And then today we went to Taco Bell for dinner, and Taco Bell was closing 3 hours early because they were short-staffed. And I don't know about you guys, but every single restaurant I go to, they have help wanted signs in the windows. And it's essentially because I think of a couple reasons. One, there's still a global pandemic going on, so people don't want to work retail front line and put like their life on the line for minimum wage. And
600,000 people died.
and 2, and dying. It's not over yet. That number's still going up.
Right.
And
You see
2,
the Texas numbers, they are spiking
yeah,
again.
and 2, retail workers are already treated like shit. So why would someone want to go back to it or go to a job where 1, they might die, 2, they're gonna be treated like a piece of shit, 3, they're not gonna be paid very well. Like, you wonder why people aren't working at those jobs anymore. It's because they'd rather not. And it just
They would rather be
Ted buddy.
unemployed than
yeah, they'd rather be unemployed, collect very small unemployment checks, and just keep trying for better jobs. And honestly, I don't blame them. And that's why whenever I see a help wanted sign or like we're closing early or we're not open, like I get it. Like if I was unemployed, I would not be going for those jobs either.
No.
Oh yeah, when I was actually laid off for like a month when the pandemic first started, I made like almost twice as much money on unemployment than I did actually working.
Mhm.
So
And then my
I go ahead.
my coworker, he used to drive Uber on the side, and now he drives Uber Eats on the side. And even and he was telling me today, like I haven't drove the last 2 weekends, just because like at the beginning of the pandemic, it was great. People were tipping really well because like no one wanted to leave, no one wanted to do anything. But now now that people do go out more, like they're not tipping as well. So like he'll take like a 30-minute journey to make like $4 or like something really small for like the amount of stuff he's putting into it. And it just because it all depends on tips, and he's just kind of like, it's just not worth it. The only reason why I'm doing it is to keep my status, so that way if it ever switches back to driving people around, I still have my like status, because apparently Uber drivers get like a ranking, so they get like priority on like good drives. Because apparently, I didn't know this. Apparently, every person that uses Uber, like passengers, also has a rating.
Yes.
So
If you
So-
don't rate your driver, they'll
yeah.
like,
So if you're a shitty tipper, or if you're just a shitty person, they can report you and your rating goes down, and you're less likely to get people to pick you up. I didn't know that. That's crazy. Don't be
But
shitty.
what does that have to do with
So I
Ted
should stop
Cruz and
throwing up in
burritos?
people's cars.
Anyways, because Ted Cruz was like, get a job, because there's so many like unemployment's crazy right now because just no one wants to work in those crappy retail jobs. That's where the kind of connection was that
Okay.
Ted Cruz was like, get a job, and then like,
I thought
we don't want the
was
jobs.
A meme of Ted Cruz like fucking a burrito or something.
No,
there's
it's
something
just two very
strangely
different things.
American.
Rain to go, I suppose.
There's something
My mouth.
strangely American about the fact that it's like, now normally when this happens, other countries would have like massive protests or just full-on revolutions, and Americans are just like, I'm just gonna sit at home.
That's a
I'm gonna just sit at home with my cat.
That's some classic Zodiac killer right there.
Well, in all fairness, in most other countries, the police aren't tricked out like the fucking military. So, I mean, I think people like living a bit more than,
Shout out to France every time they have a protest.
Hell yeah.
Those motherfuckers go hard.
See, everyone
Fires in
hates
the
on the French. I love the French. They got great food, great revolutions, and they like to fight cops.
Speaking of crazy Republicans,
Hold on, I have to take my ivermectin resident.
Okay.
I would actually like to do a conspiracy corner on this, like going in depth on it in some other podcast.
Can someone explain to me what ivermectin is?
I can explain what ivermectin is as your local vet tech.
Sorry, Monica.
I was
Kit-Kat.
gonna just ask, how the fuck did this get started?
That's
Like,
what I wanted to find out.
Okay. Finally, a topic I can, contribute to. Ivermectin is a dewormer. And of course, when you Google it, one of the first question is, what is ivermectin used to treat in humans? Fucking nothing. Fucking nothing.
But no worms though.
Okay, liberal elite.
Yeah, okay. So, ivermectin is a very common dewormer for most mammals. I think you can use it in reptiles, I'm not entirely sure. But, horses, cows, cats, dogs, gerbils, little fluffy shits. Basically, you give them ivermectin to prevent against mainly roundworms and hookworms, and then other worms that affect their system. So it started out with people going to like Farm and Fleet, and where Farm and Fleet countries are, or Farm and Fleet stores are in America.
Yep.
Fucking redneck.
Bang, 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 bang.
Trumpers.
Yes. I mean, there's one in our college town.
Bang, 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 bang,
Trumpers.
bang, bang, bang.
Our college town was pretty liberal, except for when you go into the farm area. Where I
Like
did
most
my
college, like
school
all
shit.
college
Most
towns.
college towns.
Well, no,
Yeah.
I was in, School of Agriculture. I was one of the only liberals there. It was a fun time. Anyway,
Rip.
so these people go to their Farm and Fleet to buy ivermectin for livestock, so they can take it to prevent against COVID. COVID is not a goddamn worm; it is a virus.
There is ivermectin for humans, but of course it's a vastly different dosage than for
Yes.
dogs, and it's only used to treat parasites.
Exactly. And
Spoilers,
COVID
COVID is not a fucking parasite, it's a
You mean
virus.
like those goddamn liberals leeching off the government? Nope. All right. Cool.
Well, Chris was in the middle of talking.
and Steve interrupted me again.
I interrupted
Might
Steve.
But yeah, so that's what ivermectin does. And yes, they're, again, for humans, you used to treat roundworms and hookworms that you could get from your pet. People are just stupid. And I mean, I wish they would just overdose on it and then, they just keep pooping out and having diarrhea. And great. Fuck
Well,
you.
spoilers. I actually heard that apparently it has been known to cause like erectile dysfunction and possibly sterilize males. So here's hoping.
Well, one thing's gonna get solved.
Double minor, fair enough. 4 minutes. No talking in the box, rip me.
But the thing that I just am still very confused about is like, where is the origin of someone thinking that this was a good idea? Like, who
Some fucking
started
dumbass.
I don't know.
I know
Fucking
it's some
dumbass.
fucking dumbass, but
At
I'm
one point,
curious to
so.
what fucking dumbass, because at least,
Hang
like
on.
with the whole like
Who
bleach
Patty's
started-
got
thing.
something.
Sorry, I was Googling who started and then it completed the ivermectin trend.
I hate that it's called the trend. It's like a fucking shitty YouTube video.
It's not a trend, it's stupid. Like, you couldn't call it.
Yeah.
Okay, ivermectin, the wonder drug from Japan. No.
What?
No.
What was that? Sorry.
It said so this is from 2011 too, so completely like.
Oh yeah, I heard about this. I think.
So yeah, here's what people are citing, because it says cited by 243 people. Ivermectin, a wonder drug from Japan, the human use perspective. I am not gonna read it. It's a fucking.
Don't bring Japan into this.
Well, okay.
Patty's actually got something in the chat that I actually read. If you don't mind, I'll. So
yeah, the studies are garbage. Yeah.
There was a study. There was a study that said that it might help against COVID, but I believe the study has since been retracted because it's fucking garbage. But the right wingers are just like, oh, it's a miracle cure, just like fucking what was the other one, hydroxychloroquine, and now they're now it's just a full-blown trend, and apparently people are like ODing. Not ODing might not be the right word, but they're taking up hospital beds that could be used by
So ODing is not the proper term. They are overdosing, but when you OD, you die. So
right, or at least get very, 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 very sick.
Usually when some Sorry. Yeah. I'll say after.
The only thing I just wanted to add that doesn't have anything to really do with this conversation, but whenever I hear Farm and Fleet, I just think about the time in college that I went with a friend from Farm and Fleet to help her find a riding crop. She doesn't have a horse.
Kinky! Oh my god. Wow. That is some.
Yeah, like I said, it was.
Damn!
Let me get them horse worms in me, yeah!
Damn! That is scandalous! I love it! No, I want to hear more about this. Let's keep going.
I mean, that was pretty much the end of that story.
Fair.
Is that there was one the story was because she was with this
and drugs.
she was with this guy and
He wanted to be whipped.
I don't know who. I think she wanted to be whipped.
Okay,
but I know she didn't want one of the like flimsy sex toy stuff. She wanted the real thing, man. And she's like, "Hey, do you want me to come with me to Farm and Fleet while I look for a riding crop?" And I'm like, "Sure." So I just went along with her to help her look, because I wasn't really into that kind of stuff.
At what point did she say that she didn't own a horse?
No, I knew what it was for.
Oh, okay, that's good.
It's just the comedic timing. It's just the storytelling aspect of. I went with her to find a riding crop. She didn't own a horse.
Man, that was a
Farm and Fleet say.
They don't know.
They don't know.
You don't have to tell them you don't have a horse.
I have since told this story to one of my cousins who works at Farm and Fleet, and he gets a huge kick out of it.
With them
that's
not
great.
knowing that you own a horse, though, I saw like a post on Reddit where it was something that says like ivermectin behind the counter now must show picture of horse. Like because
Love
Chuckle
you on
Flex.
horse.
Okay, then I'm just gonna find my friend's horse and be like, she's just looking
You
at
don't
my
need
horse for me."
ivermectin, though. Oh, you were saying what the Trumpers will do.
Yeah. Well,
Yeah.
I do have friends with horses, but like, yeah, like that's what they'll do. Be like, oh, my friend Bob's horse is actually my horse. See me petting it.
I just missed all the conversation in chat about tea because I was serving up my own.
That was some
See,
good
here's-
tea, Monica.
here's-
I really
here's a
enjoyed
picture of
that
me with my
story. That
horse.
was so
You're
funny.
not buying
gotta take-
ivermectin,
I don't like
you're
tea
buying
all
a
that
horse
much.
crop.
Wait, I'm sorry, what was that, Ryan?
It's like, here's a picture of me with my horse. You're not buying ivermectin. You're buying a horse crop.
And it's not a horse. It's just two people in a horse costume.
I'm also not big on tea. I gotta vote nay on that one.
Not
Oh, I
real
love
big on
tea.
tea myself.
I only
Sorry.
do tea when
I
I'm
think
sick.
Steve missed the pun.
Or the horse from Mr. Hands.
Let's not talk about that. We're done.
Mr. Hands?
Don't. Do not Google that.
No,
Steve,
Steve.
Do not-
please don't look up
Steve,
after
you should
this.
Google that right now.
Do not.
I am
Steve,
good. I
do
have
not.
a feeling it involves horse dong.
It does.
Let's see, Mr. Hands.
No.
Long story short, make it a little PG. There was a guy, a gay male, who
Actually,
him and his buds snuck onto farms, and they fooled
He got
around with
fucked by a horse
horses.
and died.
Yeah, it like punctured his colon or something, and he died.
Oh my colon.
Oh, God.
I'll take you up on that, Harry.
Case.
Anyways,
I'll be in England at some point. I was actually supposed to be there last year. Oh God!
does anyone
wait.
have any ending thoughts? I want this to
Don't have
end.
sex with horses, guys.
The ending thought, just that there is the one funny. I was reminded of something from Bly Manor where she's like, "You want some coffee?" And Jamie's like, "This is awful," and she's like, "Yeah, I can't do coffee either."
Yeah, that's so funny.
I had a note on that. I was just like, "Oh, rip Danny."
Of course,
I
it's
can't do
in
coffee either.
Unincorporated King
What
County.
can you
Washington.
make?
What can't you make?
She can make people not live.
Wow. Fair, but wow.
No.
Anyways.
I will be here forever.
Why were you Orson Wellesing that shit?
Anyways, I think that'll about do it for the podcast today. Thank you guys so much for joining me, and thank you guys for tuning in. Really appreciate it.
Oh, hey, we're gonna stop before 10.
Just a reminder,
I'm good, my man.
we are watching episodes. We're planning on watching 7, 8, 9.
Yes.
Mhm.
7 and 9 for next week.
Why was 6
Um,
afraid of 7?
Cause 7, 8, 9.
Was a convicted felon.
And 8 was a rapist.
I was waiting for that anti joke, but it couldn't come to me in time.
I'm done.
That's
I'm
good.
done. I
That's
hate
good,
everyone.
that's good.
Thank you guys so much for joining us. We'll be live tomorrow with, I don't know, something. Maybe it'll be another random games day. Maybe it'll be
You need to fix
Lasso.
Detroit for me.
Maybe it'll be
Maybe
Monster Hunter.
Oh, wait, no.
A lot of
Maybe
things
it'll
in
be-
Detroit need to be fixed.
Maybe it'll be.
The video game, not the city.
Oh
Um,
God, Trumpet Steve!
and then Friday we'll go back to
Alright.
we'll go back to
That's good.
farming, and then Saturday maybe Kingdom Hearts in the morning, and then yeah.
I just
Um,
wait. No, I just figured something else out. 6 was afraid of 7 because 7, 8, 9, and 6 loves 9. 69. Sorry.
That's
I'm gonna need some ivermectin.
That's not the joke.
No?
Okay.
No, it's not the joke, but it's
Bye everyone.
It's
We're
backstory for a
Horse
joke.
cock in a tiny mouse.
Yummy.
This is the worst thing that's ever happened. This is worse than Da Vinci Code, both the movie and the novel by Dan Brown.
Have you even read the novel? Read
I
it.
enjoyed
This
the
is worse than an
novel.
episode of
Video.
Family Guy.
Oh,
This is
don't
worse than
say-
Ann
Don't
Coulter.
say that to Kevin. He likes the Family Guy show.
What are you doing up here,
Oh, my
Blooper?
panic
You
at the disco.
you belong in
Belong in the
water.
Thank
That
you.
is a big fucking fire stick.
Thank Tenchu,
I
get away
have
from the
no
water.
idea what's happening right now.
Super Mario Frustration. Look it up. Bye, guys. Bye.
Live
Bye.
Yeah.